Hi, my name is David Threlkeld. I teach at the University of the Cumberlands in Williamsburg, Kentucky. And today I'm going to talk to you about the audition music for saxophone for the ETSBOA All East Jazz Ensemble. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact me via email or Facebook. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. This piece is written in a Latin style, which means the eighth notes won't be swung, they'll be played straight. However, you will still articulate similarly to what you would when you're playing a swing style. Also, you will emphasize the upper notes and de-emphasize the lower notes just like you would in a swing style. Now, there are some phrases in here where there's a whole bunch of eighth notes in a row that have no articulation indicated on them, and most jazz players aren't just going to tongue a whole bunch of eighth notes that are in a row. They're going to add their own phrasing to it. I'm going to do a little bit of that in here, and then I will indicate that on the music that you see on the screen so you can see exactly how I did it. Okay, so at the beginning of this phrase, of course we're starting out soft because it says mezzo piano. The notes that I'm going to emphasize in the first couple of measures here are the half notes because they're the highest notes in the phrase. Of course, you're going to crescendo all the way through every one of these measures, and you're going to articulate the first note of each measure. When you get to the fourth measure, you have all those eighth notes there. What I'm saying is do, dit, do, da. Okay? So that way you get the proper Latin phrasing on this particular What I've done in this sequence is I've actually written in some articulations. So you can see on the screen what I've done, but I'll try to talk you through it quickly. In measure 6, I've articulated the E. I'm kind of ghosting or swallowing, de-emphasizing the F sharp, articulating the B and the D, and then I'm emphasizing the F sharp at the top of the line with an accent and an articulation. In the next measure, once again, I'm articulating the D, articulating the B flat and the A flat and the E, but these are all legato articulations. Nothing is harsh. In the next measure, articulate the E, the A, and then I am going to do one little short articulation here on the E, so you get dot, do, da at the end of that line. And then, of course, do, da, like I just said, in measure 9. Okay, once again, as you've heard, emphasizing the upper notes in the line and de-emphasizing the lower notes. So in this particular case, I'm emphasizing the F sharp in measure 10, I'm emphasizing the A, the measure after, and then in measure, what would that be? Measure 12, emphasizing the G, okay? And then the phrasing, you can see as I put on the page there, I'm going to articulate the E, the B flat, the D, and the F sharp in the first measure, the E and the G in the second measure. F sharp and G, the measure after that, along with the A and the E. Okay? Do doodle-lay doo-da, do doodle-lay doo-da. That's the way you want to think of that phrase. 1, 2. One thing I will say about that phrase, you notice at the very end of that, I put a little forte piano on that long note. Jazz players will do that a lot, even if it's not written into the score. Typically, if it's a dotted half note or longer, or excuse me, dotted quarter note or longer, they'll put a little bit of that on there to give the shape to the phrase. So I'm going to put that in here on this As you can hear, that's almost the exact same phrase that we had at the very beginning, or actually I think it is the exact same phrase we had at the beginning. So here we go. Next two bars, last two bars, measure 7. Once again, I'm going to do a little different articulation in the tone of the A and the D sharp and the F sharp. Here we go. Well, there you have it. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or find me on Facebook. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I wish you all the very best of luck.